Hello there, Sim Racers. This is Sim Racing Jason and you're watching Pitlanes Sim Racing. And today we are diving into iRacing as we check out the brand new and shiny Porsche GT3 car around the equally new Red Bull Ring. We're going to be doing a 15-minute lap race against the newly updated GT3 AI. So come and join me on track after the intro and find out just what I think about this new Season 3 2021 content. Okay, my GT3 followers, here we are in iRacing in the brand new Porsche GT3 around the equally new and shiny Red Bull Ring. So we're checking both out with a quick 15-minute race against the updated GT3 AI as we get through this little hairpin here. Right, what's the first thing that grabs you about this Porsche? When you jump in and you fire it up, it is that beautiful and very distinctive engine note. It's unmistakably Porsche, and iRacing have beautifully mimicked it in virtual form. I have to say though, the sound engineers at iRacing in the last couple of builds with their new cars, the sounds now are less flat, not quite so, they don't feel so sampled now. They have a more visceral rawness quality to them, which really ramps up the all-important immersion factor for me. Ooh, cheeky little look up the inside. But it really helps just draw you in when you're sitting there, you fire it up, and instantly you know Porsche. And the next thing that strikes you, especially when the car starts moving and you get out on track, is the way that the light and the shadows reflect off of the interior, specifically the dashboard. It gives it a sense of depth. Now, something you've always been able to achieve in VR, but on a monitor things can feel a little flat. Oh, we're gonna dive bomb. AI knew about it, look. Come back fighting. Was not happy with that. Anyway, it's serious. Yeah, they've come a long way now with their the use of different materials and how they react with lights and shadows, and that really does give you a sense of depth now. So when you sit in that cockpit, you're immersed by the far more visceral noise. Then you've got this beautifully detailed cockpit, the digital display with real-time information, and the way that the light and the shadows, the different texture qualities, it's just, you are there in that car, and it's just something that's important to me. Yeah, I'm not a professional e-sport racer. I sim race because it's my passion, it's my hobby, it's what I enjoy. I want to be drawn in. Oh, can we get up the inside? I want to be drawn in to this virtual world. I want to be fully immersed by it. And it's these details that matter. This is what, helps create that illusion. And that's what's important for me. Yeah, there are some little long-term niggles that I have, and that's with the driver's hand animations. They've got a nice natural grip, and the way that the wrist rotates is brilliant. this is more for people who race in VR, which I know is a niche within a niche. But you get other titles like AMS2, ACC, and you know they have finger animations. You know, the hands come off the wheel to represent the proper shifting patterns, the pressing of buttons. Yeah, it'd be just nice, even on cars with paddle shifters, is that we saw a little, you know, flick, a little movement of the fingers. I know when you're racing on a monitor, a lot of the times, field of view, it doesn't really allow for a lot of that to be seen. But crucially, when I jump into VR, it's something that I notice because I jump from sim to sim, and it just it just stops it from being outstanding. It's a great interior, it's a great sim, but it could be outstanding with little touches like that. Now I know, you know, a lot of people don't even have the driver's hands on, you know, and I know that there's work on the tyre model, damage model that, yeah, really I would prefer that they worked on, but I'm hoping it's on their list, and I hope it is something that will be addressed in the future. What do we think of the exterior of the Porsche? Well, this Porsche has got to me, an unusual look at the front. The way that the front wheels sit in relation to the front wheel arches, they look a little inboard and push forward. So this car is quite unmistakable. You know, you look at it and you know that that's a GT3 Porsche straight away. And iRacing have got that bang on. They've got that, in my eye, almost like an unbalanced look, but it's there in virtual form straight away. So I'm, you know, really pleased with that. But of course, you know, these are built from the CAD blueprints up. You know, they put as much attention into building these in digital form as the manufacturers do in real world form. So, you know, I'm not surprised. But it is great when you get a high res close up, get the lighting just right, and it's just sometimes you almost have to do a double take if you get a good quality livery on there, and I like that. Oh, let's come up on the inside. Of course, got the new track, the Red Bull Ring. Laser scan, so every elevation, every undulation, all the different bumps, cracks, dips in the track surface, they're all there, they're all modelled, they are all pinpoint accurate, so you know you are driving the most realistic version of this track you can get in digital format. That goes for the curbs. Once you go around the track a few times, you learn which curbs you're able to attack, which ones you can't, which ones are almost no more than a painted surface, because they've got the curvature, the radius of each curb fully laser scanned, fully modelled. So you know where you can abuse the track limits. And again, for track limits, okay, there's a little dip right on the apex of that corner there, and if you catch it wrong like that, the car goes light, and if you've got too much throttle, it'll kick it out just like it did. Exactly what you would see in the real world. So it just shows you how well the car is set up and how realistically the track has been modelled. That just highlighted it brilliantly there. But yeah, track limits around here are pretty good. This is my favourite section of the track because you can grab curbs anywhere and everywhere, and iRacing let you do that with their track limits here. Even T1, where it's so easy to brake too late and carry too much speed in, and end up having to run out wide. You do get a few meters there. Whoa. Which you don't get in a track like Spa. I can hear everybody shouting from here. Yeah, they don't have the notorious Spa track limits here. Which is nice because it means you can be a little more adventurous with your lines, which helps for overtaking. It doesn't force everybody into that same square inch of tarmac. Okay, everything is where it should be, and there's detail as far as the eye can see. You know, you can't really take all this in. Well, you shouldn't be taking it all in when you're in the heat of battle, but it's nice to know it's all there, it's all modelled. And again, I find the colour palette for iRacing's environments very pleasing. It looks very natural and realistic to my eye. Okay, I know graphics, shaders, colours, it's very subjective, everybody's got their own view, but in my opinion, I think this is very much like Race Room, has a very, I don't know, very natural looking colour palette. You know, the grass texture isn't the greatest, but the way it's coloured and the way it reflects, you know, with the shadows and the light, it just appears very, very natural, very realistic in my eye, which I love. Again, immersion, drawing you into that virtual world, taking you away from the real world, which is what sim racing is all about for me. And we've had some good battles here with the AI. We've done pretty well. We've pushed them about a little bit. We've been a bit dive bomby here and there. I've gone a range from 60 to 90%. Of course, I'm not driving at 10 tenths because I'm chatting away. I'm just thinking about the car and the track. So we've dropped into a bit of a gap here, but we've had some fun. We've pulled some good moves. The level of awareness in iRacing AI is actually very good. It's very good. You do feel that, you know, they have a less formulaic, yeah, that's it, formulaic approach to how they race round the track. You know, you're never going to replicate a field of humans. It's just impossible. But it's nice. It's got a nice natural feeling. You know that you can go alongside them. You know that they're going to be aware of you if you're on the inside. You don't get that rubber banding effect where the cars, you can't, you know, never seem to be able to pull a gap to them. Get some sims like that, where it just feels that they're unnaturally pegging the ones in front and speeding up the ones behind to artificially give you close racing. If I'm good enough to race what's around me, then I'll race what's around me. If I'm not good enough to race what's around me, then I don't want them to artificially create a race, you know? I want to use this as a good training tool, so then when I do go out, I do go live, the overtaking and defending opportunities that I learn offline with the AI are transferable to the online environment against other racers. Kind of a bit too much speed in there. I'm using a medium downforce sprint setup, one of the iRacing default ones. And I tell you what, their setups have come a long way. They used to be really, really ultra safe, load of understeer. Combine that with Porsche's inherent understeer anyway, and it used to be why I used to shy away from this sort of car. But they've come a long way. I think they have somebody that they use community feedback or an ex-community member to do setups now, and I find that you can be a lot more competitive now with a iRacing setup. Change tyre pressures or brake balance, and that's about it really. You can just race and be competitive. But this car feels nice and natural. It's surprisingly neutral, and what I like about it is if you make a mistake, if you understeer or oversteer, it feels more like it's the driver and not the setup. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy. If I make a mistake, if I feel like it was my mistake, I haven't got a problem with that. And that's definitely how the setups have progressed now, and that's definitely the feeling you get. Right, here we go. We're going to cross the line. That's 15 minutes in the new Porsche GT3 car around the Red Bull Ring on iRacing. And I am suitably impressed. I love the sense of immersion that this car gives me. I like Red Bull Ring, I like their laser scan version of it, and for the first half of the race we got stuck in, and yeah, it was a little bit, when I was being a little bit cheeky, the AI gave me a little bit of a telling off, but on the whole it was a good race. And I think, you know, this AI can be used to help train you up ready and gives you a realistic representation of where you can, you know, for your different styles of offensive and defensive driving. Yeah, it gets my thumbs up. I enjoyed it. I like it. Oh well, I hope you like my look at the new iRacing 2021 Season 3 content. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of this out, what you think of it. What's your opinion of the AI in iRacing, or even AI even being in iRacing? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed it. And you know, can you do all the YouTubery things like subscribe, share? That really helped me get this content out to as many fellow sim racers as possible, so I can share my passion and enjoyment for the hobby. Okay, as I enter the pit lane, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye bye then.